Visiting Yellowstone National Park was like a dream come true. We have been talking and planning this trip for what feels like forever, and we finally hit that button and booked this trip. Right before our trip, the park suffered torrential flooding, but made such a great comeback and we got to visit. With the north entrance closed, we used the west entrance to enter and exit our Yellowstone itinerary. We decided not to do any backcountry hiking and stuck to the well-known places since the weather was considered unpredictable. We relied on the Gypsy App as well as our already plotted out itinerary to give us education on the area. It was absolutely mesmerizing and just out of this world. Each hot spring, each thermal vent, each boiling pot, and each geyser was more unique than the previous, and each was worth the stop to observe. Most of our stops in Yellowstone National Park was not crowded. We probably experienced the largest crowd in the Old Faithful area. Several basins have boardwalk or paved pathways, making it very accessible to all ages and abilities. Seeing waterfalls was second in our must-see when visiting Yellowstone, and most other national parks where unique falls are available. So of course we had to visit the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone and see the lower falls from all angles. It's just one of those things when visiting Yellowstone that you just cannot skip. We stopped at the top to see the rushing river, the free fall, and then of course the very popular viewpoint of the full fall. Unfortunately, the trail to the closer view of the lower fall was closed during our trip. The Grand Canyon of Yellowstone itself was just breathtaking. We spent a considerable amount of time here taking in these unique cliffside views of the canyon walls. The beautiful natural carvings and the flowing river between the canyon walls was just picture perfect. Lamar Valley was not open due to the flooding, so we set out to Hayden Valley for a very different experience in Yellowstone. The night before, it had rained quite a bit, so Hayden Valley was pretty quiet. We saw a few bisons in the distance, no herds, no road jamming, and hardly any other animal. The road, for the most part, was pretty quiet. There were a few places, obviously, where bison viewers come, and the cars were stacked on the shoulder and drivers were slowly rolling. Old Faithful in the West Dome was by far the most popular place, and for many reasons. There are stores, restaurants, shops, hotels, and lots of boardwalk and paved pathway that made it accessible to everyone, including strollers and wheelchairs. There are large viewing areas with benches as well for you to sit and wait for Old Faithful to erupt. A sure sight you do not want to miss. Also here you can find a plethora of unique, smaller hot springs and erupting geysers. A little further beyond Old Faithful is one of my favorite areas. This is the Biscuit Basin, where the beautiful blue sapphire pool is located. The bright cerulean water in the massive pool was all striking. Further beyond the Biscuit Basin is the trailhead for the Grand Prismatic Hot Spring, another magical hot spring. Fun fact, the spring is over 50 stories deep. It's definitely magical as it possesses that vibrant rainbow. You can view this up close and hike the trail to view from afar as well. The trail does get a little crowded, however, be a little patient. Everyone takes their turn taking photos and then you will have yours too. We ended up skipping the Morning Glory pool, which now I regret, but we saw so many amazing, beautiful hot springs to make up for it. I hope you enjoy this vlog of Yellowstone National Park, and as always, obey the rules of the park and stay safe.